So let's have a look at the first 10 minutes a day maths challenge. 6 questions, 10 minutes. If you haven't done it already, just pause the video now, answer all the questions, then unpause to have a look at the solutions. So we're going to have a look at the first fluency question, number 1. This question is simple addition, and we're going to just use our column method in order to add. Okay, so 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry the 1, 3 plus 6 is 9, plus the 1 is 10, and then 3 plus this 1 is 4. So our first answer is 402. Okay, let's have a look at question number 2. It's a fraction question here. Now, the biggest part with fractions is you need to remember the rules. So when you're adding or subtracting fractions, the denominator, that's the bottom number, must be the same. And we can see in this example, our denominators are not the same. So we need to find something called the LCM. That's the lowest common multiple. So we're going to have a look at our 10 times table and the 4 times table. And we're going to find the first number that's in both. So I'm going to start here with 10, then 20, 30, 40. And I'm going to do the same for my 4 times table. I'm going to write a few numbers in there. So 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Now I can see 20 is the lowest common multiple. So that's the first number that is the same in both. Okay, so what do I times 10 by to get to 20? Well, that's 2. And what do I times 4 by to get to 20? That's 5. Now with fractions, you need to remember whatever you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator. So I'm also going to times my numerator by what I've times the denominator by. So now let's rewrite our fractions. So we've got 4 times 2, which is 8 over 20, plus 20 over 20. Now our denominators are the same. We're just going to add our numerators. So 8 plus 20 is 28 over 20. Now this is an improper fraction, okay? Now we want to simplify this so it turns into a mixed number. That's where we have a whole number and our fraction. So we're going to firstly see how many times 20 goes into 28. That's one whole, okay? I've got 8 remainder and my denominator stays the same. Now I can simplify 8 over 20 by finding a factor that goes both into 8 and 20. A number that goes both into 8 and 20 is 4. So I'm going to divide each one by 4. My whole number stays the same, 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So my answer to this one is 1 whole and 2 fifths. Okay, so that's all the steps here. So that's your answer is a mixed fraction. Okay, and it should always be in its most simplified form. So let's have a look at our next option. Okay, so we've got simplify 8x plus 6x. Now, this one is just collecting the like terms. So I've got 2 x's, and because I'm adding, we're just grouping them all. So it's just 8 plus 6, which is 14x. Okay, we're now going to have a look at the problem solving. So these get a little bit trickier, and remember, it's still non-calculator. So Sam buys a jacket for £36 in a 25% off sale. What was the original price? Okay, so firstly, percentages are out of 100. Okay, now we do not know the 100%, so the 100% is our unknown. Now, if he bought the jacket for £36 and that was 25% off, that tells me that £36 is 100%, take away 25%, which means £36 equals 75%. Now, remember, we're doing this without a calculator. So I'm going to use my knowledge of fractions to percentages to show this. Now, 25% is the same as 1/4. So I'm now going to draw out my quarters. Now, this is, each box is 25%. Now, we know that £36 is 75%. So that means that 3 boxes equals £36. So how are we going to work out what 1 box is? Well, we've got 3 boxes that make part of the 75%. So we're going to divide 36 by 3, which gives you 12. So that means each box is worth £12. And that includes the last box because they're all worth 25%. So now, in order for us to find the original amount, we're going to do £12 times 4, which equals 48. So my answer for the original price is £48. So again, remember, percentages, decimals, they all link, and fractions and things like that. Where possible, break it down, partition it, and obviously just draw out using pictures, representation to help it make sense. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Recipe needs 0.75 litres of milk. How many millilitres is this? So you need to remember your conversions. There is a silly song that I thought, so it's like 10 millimetres, a centimetre, 100 centimetres is a metre, 1,000 metres is a kilometre, and it's the same for grams and litres. So little rhyme to help. So that means if I look there, I've got 1,000 millilitres equals 1 litre, okay? Now, if I think about what I've got to do, so if I'm going from millilitres to litres, I'm dividing by 1,000. And if I'm going from litres to millilitres, I'm timesing by 1,000. So if I've got 0.75 litres and I want to get to millilitres, that means I need to times this by 1,000. Okay, now you can use a grid method. If you're not very confident at timesing, we can always draw a place value grid. Okay, so what we do, we've got our tenths, our hundredths, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and I'm going to put 0.75 in my place value grid. Now your decimal point is lazy, it never changes. If we're timesing, we're moving to the left, and if we're dividing, we're moving to the right. Now because we're timesing by 1,000, that means we're going to move each digit 3 places, okay, because it's 3 zeros, to the left. So we're going to start with the 7, okay? 1, 2, 3. So my 7 is in that column. My 5, 1, 2, 3. And then we can see this column here, my ones, I'm going to add a placeholder of a 0, okay? And then my decimal point. Remember, it's lazy, it never moves. Now, I don't need to include the 0 because if I've got a 0 at the front, there's 0 thousandths, so I don't need to include that. So that means my answer is 750 millilitres. So place value grid, okay? Nice way to do it. Now, final one is an exam question, okay? Expand and simplify. So there are 2 methods to do this. So if I write, we've got 3x plus 2 and then 2x minus 5. Now this is double brackets. Now the 2 methods to do, I'm going to show you the grid method first. So we have times in this corner, then our first bracket we put at the top. So we've got 3x here plus 2, okay? Now I've put the plus 2 there just to remind you that it's a positive number. You do not need to include it if you don't want to. Then the next one is 2x minus 5. So we're going to put this here, so 2x and minus 5. So now we're going to multiply them together. So 2x times 3x is 6x squared, because 3 times 2 is 6 and x times x is x squared. Now 2x times a positive 2 is 2 times 2, which is 4x. And then we're going to do 3x times minus 5. Well, 3 times minus 5 will give me a negative number, which is minus 15x. And then minus 5 times a positive 2, a negative and a positive makes a negative. So 5 times 2 is 10, so that's minus 10. We're then going to write it out, so that's 6x squared plus 4x minus 15x minus 10. Now, the last step that we've got to do is we've got to collect the like terms. So that's this middle part here, that plus 4x minus 15x. So we then end up with 6x squared stays the same. 4x minus 15 is minus 11x minus 10. So my final answer is 6x squared minus 11x minus 10. Now that's one method for you. The second method, okay, again, 2 methods that you can choose, is this. So we've got our 3x plus 2 and then 2x minus 5, okay? So we're going to start by multiplying what's in the first box. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared, and then 3x times minus 5 is minus 15x, okay? Then we're going to do the next one. So 2 times 2x is plus 4x, and then 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. Now we collect the like terms. So again, this middle section here, the 6x squared stays the same, minus 15 plus 4x minus 11x minus 10. And you can see we've got to the same answer. So here we have the first day done. Hopefully you got 6 out of 6. If you didn't, which one did you get wrong? If so, have a look at practicing some of those skills by going on Dr. Frost or Sparks Maths or whatever scheme your school uses to help you. Tune back in tomorrow for the next video for the 2nd of August.